Hey!
Hey!
You know, I didn't mean to come in here so generically.
Oh, wow.
But you know what we're talking about today?
We are talking about Kowloon generic romance.
Yes, this is a new anime. This is an anime that I didn't really know what I was getting into when you said you want to watch it. Frankly, listen, anime, I just figured you wanted to see a romantic anime. And I was like, I get it, you know? Let's watch this slice of life, cute, romantic. It kind of looks like it's from the 90s based on the animation. Like, let's watch it. This will be fun. It'll be just like a sign of affection. That's not what this is.
Well, I had told you that it was sci-fi, and you're just like, no, it's just some romance show, right?
100%. This is a show that I thought was just slice of life. It is not. It is not. A lot of things.
You mentioned that it feels very much like something from the 90s.
Yeah.
The time period is in the 90s, but the art style is also very, very much like anime from the 90s.
Yeah.
But it's not an anime or manga from the 90s.
No.
It's from like later
2019 or something like that. Yeah. When I saw the key art, it looked to me like City Hunter or something like that. You know, it's got that kind of like 80s, 90s vibe. So this show is set in the walled city of Kowloon that is outside of Hong Kong, a city that existed I think like between World War II and the mid-90s. Yeah. This show takes place in the 90s, takes place with a group of characters that live in this city. Yeah. It is, like a lot of the things that we've seen so far this year, all about the vibes.
It's so much about the vibes. Yeah. It is very much the feel of it. The music in this show is like, it gets you, and it's one of those things where, you know, there's a lot of the same repeated music that goes through it. Yeah. But like they do it for effect, and it's so emotional. It really does like pull on your emotional heartstrings, the different like music that plays in the show.
It does. The music's great, the animation's great, the colors are great. The first episode had a lot of these beautiful speeches about nostalgia, and I really felt that, and I thought that was beautiful. But what's really interesting about this show is it is slice of life, it is romance, but it's also got all these other elements to it.
Sci-fi, mystery.
I was just like, it keeps on like unfolding, like it's so interesting.
It reminds me of that first season of Dark.
Yeah.
That German series from a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I agree. They offer you some stuff, but then everything sort of changes, and it's like a maze, it's like a labyrinth.
And it's really interesting because, you know, a lot of the time they go back and forth between the current time and then a few years back, and so you see these certain different characters interacting in the past and in the present. They sort of seamlessly flow through those time periods. And sometimes you're a little confused, like, wait, is this happening now? Oh no, this was happening then.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's funny because you really have to pay attention to how the people are acting and to sort of like understand like what time period you're watching. Yeah. Because there were times that I was also, because that's what's interesting about Kowloon is it is like static, like it looks exactly the same. Yeah. And so like the only way you're going to decipher these times are the way the people are acting.
Yeah, or like, you know, there's one character where the stuff in the present, his hair is long. In the past, his hair is shorter. It's
that's true. I think it's really, really interesting and really cool. So we watched the first 7 episodes. Yeah. It is going to be a 1-season show. It's going to be 13 episodes. That is the entirety of the manga.
That makes sense.
And apparently there's also going to be a live action movie that comes out in Japan in August.
Oh man, I hope they like bring that to Netflix or Crunchyroll or something.
This is like the second thing we talked about so far this year that has a live action version. Ameku also does. So in Kowloon, I know about it mostly from that game Stray. That cat video game that we played,
that was cute.
Which is this city is sort of based on Kowloon, so I sort of knew it because of that. So, like I said, we've watched 7 episodes, so we're halfway there. The one difficult thing about this show is it is a really enthralling mystery with a lot of different elements. So we can't really say too much because we don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because, you know, from the pilot, you start off, you know, you think it is just a romance, you know, it does seem like a time period romance. Yeah. You know? So you've got the 2 main characters, Kujirai and Kudo. Yeah. And Kujirai, you know, she's got a crush on Kudo. They're co-workers. They work in real estate.
Yeah,
which is just fascinating.
Which is weird. I don't think we've ever had an anime starring 2 characters in their 30s who work in real estate.
Yeah. And like, Kujirai has a crush on Kudo, but Kudo is definitely not responding in the way that she'd like him to.
Yeah.
And things are a little weird. You keep hitting these like little points where things are a little odd, and you're like, okay, well, there's something weird happening, but it all seems kind of like normal.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you get these like weird little shakes of something weird, something that feels not right, and then there's this music that plays that's like just slightly off, that gives you that like uncomfortable feeling, and as the episodes go on, more and more of that comes out. There's like these little sci-fi elements, like there's this thing in the sky.
Yes.
That is, and like commercials about it that are like it's collecting memories or something.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit unclear, but there's these different things that come up that like, okay, here's some sci-fi elements, and like I said, as the episodes go on, you get more and more of the sort of sci-fi and the mystery and like what's going on with certain characters, and it's kind of crazy.
It is totally crazy. Yeah.
So
it's got those interesting things, like you said, of the thing in the sky and what's going on with that, and they slowly give you information about that. This show's very much about like identity and memories. It reminds me a lot of Perfect Blue or like Paprika, Ghost in the Shell, Metallic Rouge.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting because it's got this psychological sci-fi bend to it while also being like a fully interesting romantic slice of life. So it is a very interesting puzzle box to sort of watch, but what really grounds it is the characters, Kujirai and Kudo, and their very complex relationship, I think really is the core of this show, and it makes it really, really fascinating. We're at the point now where I feel like we might start giving away spoilers we don't want to give away.
Yeah, no, but the thing is that like from the pilot, you're gonna be like, you're gonna want to watch the next episode. You like the whole episode. It's really well done, and it, like I said, it brings up these tiny little things that you're like, wait, what's going on there? And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, I need to see what happens next. And each episode gets a little bit like, there's more and more of that where you're so invested in like, wait, that's where it ended. I need to see what happens next. It's so well constructed, and the way that it just like flows is beautiful, and there's a lot of goldfish.
A lot of goldfish. Yeah, I mean, the animation is beautiful. It makes you want to visit Kowloon, which sadly is not there anymore. There's a park there now.
Yeah.
So, you can visit the park. All right, guys. Well, Kowloon Generic Romance is on Crunchyroll. That's where we're watching it. Is it somewhere else? I have no idea. Use Google or ChatGPT or whatever you want to do.
What's your favorite sci-fi romance? No? No.
How many of those could there be?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't.
Braverin.
Oh, I wasn't.
A man and a robot.
I didn't say it has to be anime.
Oh, like the Fifth Element could count.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey,
or
you know what?
Time.
Or the Lake House.
I guess.
The Lake House. Maybe the Lake House.
Sure.
All right. Let us know that is the Lake House down below. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.